Hello guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Liz. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys how to get a remote job or a work from home job. So these type of positions, I feel like they're a little bit harder to get than those in-person jobs. So I just want to tell you tips and tricks that you can do to kind of maximize your chances of getting hired either through remote or work from home. One key difference I want to mention to you guys, remote and work from home, I honestly thought they were the same. But the key difference is that remote, you can work from anywhere in the United States. Work from home means that if you're hired, you have to work from the address that you were hired from. Like let's say you live on, I don't know, Washington Street. That's where you need to work. If you are hired from a work from home, that doesn't mean that you're going to be working at a Starbucks that is down the street. You have to be at the physical address that you were hired for. So that's the key difference of work from home and remote. And in this video, I will tell you guys tips and tricks that you can do to maximize your chances to get hired. So especially for somebody that hasn't worked remote or work from home before, make sure that you kind of show on your resume those transferable skills that you can kind of portray yourself. That way, when the hiring manager, whoever's reviewing your resume, they don't think like, oh, this girl hasn't worked remote. At least you appeal to them. Like, let's say you do customer service. Go ahead and put that on your resume. Put something in regards to whatever the job post is demanding. Like, let's say they want somebody that works really good on fast-paced environments. Make sure you kind of include that. That way, they know that even though you haven't worked from home or remotely, you still have those transferable skills that you can bring to this new employer. And then obviously another thing that you want to be doing, just keep applying, apply to so many jobs. I know it's sometimes a lot of hard work. Like I know when applying for a job, it kind of feels like a job on itself, but just apply to however many jobs you can apply to. Make it like a task that every day you give yourself some sort of number. Let's say like, I'm going to do 10 applications today, or I'll do 10, 15, whatever it is. And that way you maximize your chances, because the job market right now, I feel like is super down the drain. Like the job market is just harder to find a job. It's not like before in 2017 that it was like so much easier to get a job. So make sure you're applying to a lot of jobs, fixing up your resume, portraying those transferable skills that you have. And if they do request cover letters, I feel like that is something that could actually help you. I'm not really like a hiring manager, or I don't know, things like that. But when jobs were asking for cover letters, I did put that in. I feel like it just shows like you're more interested in the job. And you can kind of just change it up between companies that you're applying for. I know it seems like a lot of work, but to find a remote job, I feel like it's so much harder than just getting a regular in-person job. And then another thing you want to do, make sure you're portraying your online presence really great. So for example, if you have a LinkedIn account, you can go ahead and add the link into your resume and make sure that you have connections, your job is up to date, everything's up to date on your LinkedIn. That way they know that you do have an online presence. You're not somebody that doesn't even know how to use a computer. So just make sure you're doing things like that to maximize your chances. And one thing I did, I went to Indeed. I also went to companies that I knew that were hiring remote, or companies that you just know of, but don't really apply from Indeed. Go ahead and apply from their own website. I feel like people apply from Indeed. Like there's just so much more people on Indeed than applying from the regular job. And I think it's just because Indeed makes it so much easier to apply for these jobs. So easier means more people and more volume. But the only thing I don't like about that, I feel like you could get lost because there's just so many thousands of applications in there. So I'd rather just apply from the company itself. That way you do maximize your chances of being hired or interviewed or whatever the hiring process is. And another thing that you want to do is work on your workspace. I know you probably, even if you don't have a job right now for work from home or remote, make sure you have some sort of setup ready. That way, that kind of gives you that like positive vibe, like, oh, I'm gonna get a remote job, and you just feel more positive about yourself seeing this new office or whatever you've been working on. I know it's like spending money, getting a desk, or just setting up things there, but just having that ready makes you feel more motivated that you're gonna be hired to work from remote or work from home. And like I mentioned before, just stay motivated. The job market is really not that great at the moment, so just keep applying to jobs. And keep following up. If you do have the emails of those recruiters, follow up through either LinkedIn or emails if you do have it, and just kind of follow up, let them know that you're interested in the position and that you would like to be considered or interview, whatever it is. Getting those interviews is really going to help you, because that way you'll be able to kind of portray yourself how you want to be seen. Because on paper, everybody looks like, I feel like it's boring just looking at a resume or something like that. You can kind of see the personality shine for a person when you do interviews, phone interviews, or whatever it is. And like I mentioned before, make sure that your resume is up to date. Put those skills that are transferable to the specific job you're applying to. And you can kind of fix up your resume how you want it to sound. So I usually look for a job. I look through their what they're looking for in a candidate, and I kind of adjust my resume as needed. It's not like to say that I'm going to change my whole resume. I don't do that, obviously. But I feel like making those little changes actually does make a difference in getting those interviews or just being able to pass to the next step in the hiring process. So these are just little tips you can do. Like I said, I am not a hiring manager. I don't really know much about it, but these are things that you can do to maximize your chances to get a job. And obviously, practice is going to make perfect. If you do bump out that first interview or phone interview, whatever it is, use it as a learning tool. Like, think of ways that you can improve, what kind of things you can do for the next interview to feel better about yourself, be more positive, motivated, to be able to show and portray yourself how you want to be seen with the hiring manager. And just don't feel like bumped out, like, oh, I didn't get the job or whatever it is. Just use that as a learning tool to do better in the next interview or phone interview, whatever step you need to do in the hiring project. And I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below what kind of tips and tricks you have for finding a remote or work from home job. And as always, I'll see you guys next time.